Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for a very special deluxe size action figure review. Actually, there's not much special about it. It's just super long, so hopefully you guys could sit through it and it's helpful. But today we're going to be looking at the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Neca movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set, and we're going to be looking at the turtles themselves and the diorama. So let's get into it, starting with the packaging. The packaging looks like a big VHS on the front, and then once you turn it around, you have some promotional pictures, you got some nice quotes, and these promotional pictures are crazy because I really thought that those were from the movie. Those are actually the figures, so that's awesome. And the quotes here are great. You got some Pixel Dance stuff, some Foosh stuff, and then down at the bottom you have the turtles popping out of the manhole. And then on the side of the box, again, you have some great shots of the figures that look realistic. They look like they came right out of the movie. And NECA really took a lot of time with this packaging. They really went the extra mile with everything. It looks great. And then once you take the slip cover off, you're able to see the figures behind a piece of plastic, and the figures are great in there. You could see all the accessories. It'd be kind of cool just to display them like that. And then on the side of this box, it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then on the opposite side, you get some more shots of the figures. So they really went all out with all the photography to give you a good look at the figures. And then on the back of this box, you have the promotional shots that we originally saw when they announced this set. And I like this packaging a lot. It is collector friendly, even though it's a little bit of a hassle to get the turtles in and out of there. You could still get them in there if you want. But yeah, this thing is awesome, and I'll probably keep this displayed like on a shelf just like this. So I'm very happy about the packaging. Okay, now here we have the turtles out of the packaging. And just for the sake of change, we're going to do things a little differently this time. We're going to start off by taking a look at the details on the figures, and then we'll get into the accessories and the articulation. But yeah, I think NECA did an amazing job with these guys. But that's really no surprise, because if you see how good the quarter scale versions of the turtles are, then you know what to expect from NECA. But I can't believe how much detail was retained when they scaled these things down. And just check it out, these things are beautiful. They did an awesome job with everything. I love all the texturing and the details. You could see that none of the skin is flat, it's all textured everywhere. And then you have these little spots everywhere that look really good. And what I like about the spots is that they're not the same on all four turtles. So when you have them all together, it's not like they're gonna have the same you know, little freckles or whatever you want to call them. So I think that looks nice, and it makes them all look more realistic and lifelike. And there's a lot of nice subtle paint on these figures, as you can see, like on the nose area here. There's a little bit of yellow compared to like the green on the rest of the head, and that looks really good. And then throughout the arms too, they're just like little pieces of paint differences. So there's no just solid green areas. Everything has a little bit of paint, like texture, and just change up. Check out the lower legs. You got like some paint details. Maybe they intended it so that the lower legs look dirty because they're always running around and stuff. And the knee pads have some paint details too. A little less so on Raph here. I noticed the most paint details on Leonardo and on Michelangelo. You could see a lot of orange on both of those. But yeah, there's just a lot of nice paint work on these guys. We're gonna keep using Raph here because he's my favorite turtle out of the four. But let's see if you could get a better look at the skin here. And just look at that. You could see even here like the color changes in the corner of his little chest plate here. And just so you guys know, the belt here is loose. It's loose in the front, but it is attached in the back, so it's not going to completely fall off. But it does move out of the way so it doesn't hinder the articulation too much. And I love that. And I love how these elbow pads and knee pads cover up the joints. It really makes the figures look more realistic because you don't see the crazy joints. But the joints are really nice, and we'll get into all that when we look at the articulation. But let's take a look at the back of the shell here. The shell is awesome too. And what I love is that on Raph, his shell is all messed up. It looks like he's been in a bunch of fights and stuff. And on the rest of the turtles, it isn't. Check it out. You can see a lot of cool details, but there isn't the scratches and things like that on none of the turtles. So that's really cool. They could have just used the same shell, you know. And you have some more like details there where the shell attaches to Raph himself. And yeah, just awesome stuff, man. Got some more paint details in here. And all of the turtles have the same amount of detail, obviously. Let's go to my second favorite turtle here, Leo, just so we could get a look. But yeah, there's some other, you could see some paint shading here. It's all different, you know. It's amazing though. They did such a great job on this set. These are by far my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures that I own. And let's take a closer look at the head sculpts here. And of course the head sculpts are beautiful too, and you have the I don't know what they're called actually, the bandana thing. I don't know if it's actually called a bandana, but their little masks here look really good. They have a lot of nice paint details. You can see that there's a lot of nice wash and stuff. It's blue, but it doesn't look straight up like a black wash. Maybe they use like a purple, but it looks like different shades of blue in there. One thing I'll say about these turtles though is I think the eyes could have been a little bit better. They're all painted fine. I don't think that a lot of people are going to run across a bunch of QC issues with bad eyes like they did with the animated series version from Neca. But I just think they could have done a better job with the eyes, like maybe adding like a clear coat to make them look more lifelike. And that's more apparent here on Michelangelo. So just give me 1 second to grab him here. But even though his head sculpt is really nice and the eyes do look okay, I think it would have gone a long way if the eyes were a little bit like reflective. But same thing, Michelangelo looks great too. He's got some stuff going on his head that looks different from what Leo has on his head. So really, really cool. And you have more freckles on Mikey here. And his mouth is a little bit open. You can see his teeth and a little bit of his tongue. And that's cool. And these bandana pieces are able to come off, and there's some other ones that you could put on here and stuff, but we'll take a look at that in a second. And same thing here, you got some nice detailing on the mask. Then for Donatello, his face sculpt looks really good too, and his like nose beak thing is more pronounced than the rest of them, as you could see there. That feels very movie accurate to me. Then last but not least, we have Raph here. And of course, he has the most angry looking facial expression out of all the turtles. So that's very cool. I think all the different head sculpts capture the attitudes of each one of the individual turtles. So that's really cool, especially Mikey and Raph. I'd say that these two capture the characters the most. But man, like I said, these figures are so beautiful. I think Neca did an amazing job with the sculpt and stuff, and I love how different each one of them are. It could have just been all the same with just different heads, you know, and different belts, and I think they could have got away with it. But they went the extra mile and made it so all four figures are significantly different from each other. So that's awesome stuff. And now for the accessories, each one of them comes with an interchangeable bandana piece, so you could display the bandana on either shoulder. They also come with one ooze canister, 8 slices of pizza, a pizza box so you could put the pizza slices in, and they all come with a set of gripping hands so they could hold on to their weapons. And then they include 4 other sets of hands that could be interchanged between all the turtles, including a set of flat hands, a set of pointer fingers, a set of loose gripping hands, and then a pair of thumbs up hands. And all the accessories are really nice. They have a lot of attention to detail. And let's look at them starting with the canister here. It says TC RI, and then on this side it says radioactive material. Then it has some damage right there, and it looks metallic. It has like a metallic type of color to it, but it's very soft plastic. And this cap could come off, so you could do like a ooze spilling out kind of thing if you'd like. And then you also have the several slices of pizza, and these look good too. They're very realistic. They don't look cartoonish at all, but you got some olives and some peppers on there, and yeah, those look really nice. But the coolest thing about the pizza is the pizza box. And the pizza box is pretty much like a fake Domino's kind of thing, except it has a sticker stuck right on the front there. And on the side of the box you have some text. Here it says delivered in 30 minutes, maybe less. Over here it says driver carries less than 20, free delivery, free delivery. Tile game pizza. And right here in fine print it says we deliver anywhere, on time, or $3 off your order. What does it say over here? Look at that, it says a name. M. Angelo. Damn, that's crazy. And you can't read that unless you're zoomed in. This is the first time I've seen this. It even says the total right here. And right here, free pizza. And then check out on the inside. It's going to be hard to see because it's so white, but it's like kind of greasy, and you could even see lines as if like the pizza was cut on here. And that's just crazy amount of attention to detail. So that is awesome. And like I said, it's cardboard, so it could get damaged if you're not careful with it. But man, this is really crazy over the top detail on this thing.
And let's take a look at the weapon, starting off with Leo's sword. This looks really nice. It's a little warped, but it does look good. The blade has a metallic type of look to it. The handle is just painted brown, but it is very nice. And then next up we have Raphael's sai. That looks really good too. Kind of looks like it's wrapped up a little bit. On the blade part, there's a little bit of paint chipping there, but it's not a big deal. Then Donnie's bow staff looks good too. Looks like you got some string wrapped around the center there. And then we have Mikey's chucks. And I'm not a huge fan of these because I don't just like the string like this. Feels like it could break easy. But aside from that, these things are cool and I like that he could hold them snug.
And now let's do some size comparisons. So here he is next to the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And then now we have the Marvel Legends Wolverine and Marvel Legends Scarlet Spider. And then here we have the Turtles hanging out with the SH Figure Art Star-Lord and a Halo Master Chief figure from Mattel. And then now here we have the Mafex Boba Fett and Neca Caesar. And here we have the Turtles next to the Neca Shredder and a Neca Foot Clan soldier. And I think they look awesome next to these guys. So until Neca gives us the movie version of Shredder, we're just going to have to use these guys to do battle with the Turtles. And then here we have the SH Figure Arts Turtles next to the movie Turtles. And then here we have the Playmates movie Turtles, and it's crazy how different these guys are. It's like night and day. And here we have the Turtles from the San Diego Comic-Con 2017 NECA exclusive box set. And man, NECA just kills it with the turtle stuff. In my opinion, they're making the best Ninja Turtle figures out there.
And now for the articulation on these guys, NECA did a really good job with it. It seems like NECA has been getting better and better over the years with the articulation. I remember like 10 years ago or so, they pretty much just made statues, kind of like the McFarlane stuff from back in the day. They pretty much had no joints, but now they have double elbows, double knees, all kinds of good stuff. And I think they just recently started doing the double jointed elbows. I want to say the first time I ever noticed it on a NECA figure was on the Blade Runner figures. I'm not sure if they ever did it before, but I know the new Pennywise figure has it, and then the Turtles have the double jointed elbows and knees, and I'm sure a bunch of other figures do too. But the first time I ever noticed it was on the Blade Runner figures. But let's get into it here. So his head is able to move side to side. It sits pretty high, so there's a lot of nice movement, especially some really nice tilt. Look at that. And then you could get him to look pretty much all the way up. Damn, look at that. That's really good. And then you could get him to look down. And then he does have torso articulation, but obviously it's a little bit hindered by his shell and his front piece here. But let's see what we could get it to do. It does kind of rotate around. Can't really get it to twist at all, but it does get some side to side. Can't really get it to crunch. I mean, you could get him to hunch over just a little bit, but not really. And same thing going back. All that's in the way, but it is definitely there. And then for the arm, there's no upper bicep swivel or anything, but his arms do go all the way around. They come out to the side, but he does have a swivel here at the elbow. So he has a swivel and a double jointed elbow. So that's really cool. And it actually swivels at the bicep and at the forearm. So you're definitely getting your swivel somewhere there. And then for the hands, they could rotate side to side, and then they have a hinge. Then for his legs, let's see what we could do with his legs. I'm always hesitant to just grab NECA figures and start moving them, so let's be very careful here. There we go. So his legs could go all the way to the side. And then let's bring them back very slowly. There we go. And then you could get his leg to move forward to about there. So not very much because of the chest piece again. And then you have the upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. And then you have feet that rock side to side. Very, very nice. They come to the front to about there. They come up to there. So yeah, there's a really nice amount of articulation. I was surprised that it didn't have the upper bicep swivel and that it didn't have like just a regular, ball jointed shoulder. Actually, I'm not sure if these are called ball jointed shoulders, but to me, I figure if it's a ball jointed shoulder, it's a ball that sticks into the torso and into the arm. But in this case, it's just the whole upper arm that sticks into the torso. So I don't know, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but anyways, it is what it is. But yeah, so the articulation on this guy is awesome. It's pretty much up there with Marvel Legends or Mezco. Not quite as good as figure arts or whatever, but yeah, I'm always just really excited when NECA figures have articulation because that's not something that I used to associate with them. You know, I always knew they had amazing sculpts, but articulation was always kind of iffy. But in this case, they have the best of both worlds. Awesome sculpt, awesome articulation.
All right, now let's get into this diorama. So I've never reviewed a diorama or anything like that, so I don't know how this is going to go, but hopefully I'm able to show everybody out there everything they want to see with this thing. But here's a quick look at the box artwork, because it was boxed separately from the turtles, and you've got a bunch of cool shots on the front. You get a look at the diorama and the turtles hanging out in the diorama themselves on the back of the box. So that all looks very nice, just like the box from the turtles. And here's the diorama itself, and this thing is massive and awesome. I'm so happy with it. And it's funny because when you think about it, it's nothing really crazy special. It's just a couple of brick walls, but they did do a lot of things on there to make it interesting and give you a lot of different photo options and things like that. And if you're not a big photographer, it's awesome just to display figures on. As you can see here, I got a bunch of turtles hanging out, and a bunch of different size figures fit on there. You can see that the figure arts ones fit. Obviously the movie turtles are going to fit perfect on there. It was made for them. But it fits good with pretty much all like 7-inch scale figures, or even 6-inch scale figures work just fine. Here at the bottom I have the set from last year, and check it out. This just looks amazing. And even though it looks more realistic, it works as just like a general building in the background. So it's very, very nice, very detailed. And here's a look with a bunch of different kind of figures on there. You can put your Marvel Legends on there, your Mezco, even DC Icons looks pretty good on there. And as you can see here, I have Mezco Punisher, Mezco Daredevil, my custom V for Vendetta figure back there. Can't wait to take some pictures of him on here. I think that's going to look amazing. Got Wolverine, Revoltech Spider-Man. All of them look great. And then along the top, you have like this city skyline thing that you could see. And it looks pretty cool, but it's just pretty much a piece of, like a picture printed on a piece of cardboard. So I'm going to do my best to show you the details on this thing one corner at a time. So first off, here's the top left, and you have an air conditioning unit, and the windows are actual pieces of plastic that you just place in there. And throughout this thing, there's little pieces that come out just like this here, but it is hard to take them out. They're really tight in there, but it is cool. So you could open it up, throw a figure in there, or if you want to get the figures in there, you could always put them in through the back just by taking the cardboard piece off. But check them out. You get Donnie posted up in there. And yeah, these things are cool, but like I said, they're really tight. They're very hard to get in and out, but it is an option you could use if you don't want to take the back piece off. And here's a look at Donnie just looking out the window. And that is so cool. When I found out the figures could go inside the diorama, that's what really sold me on this set. And the air conditioning unit has a I Love New York sticker on it. That's awesome. And the bricks are very nicely sculpted. You can see they look very realistic, and they have like a deep red color to them. It's not like a bright red color or anything. And I love all the shading and paint details on there. And then you have a little pipe right here that's stuck on there. There's actually 2 of these on this diorama. And then on the top right, you have the WTRL logo. And this piece also comes out too. You can see that the bricks are a little bit different. So that piece can pop out if you'd like. And then throughout the diorama, there's a bunch of these loose bricks that come out. So that's cool because it really breaks it up and doesn't just look like a plain wall when you have these loose bricks in there. So that is very awesome. Check it out. There's a couple of them just in this section here. Again, you have another window, and this piece could come out too if you want to force it out. And then on the bottom right, you have a window and a door. And I love this door here, and I like the fact that each corner has like different things, so you could really make it look different by just using different corners. And they did a really nice job on this door. Check out the paint details on the top there. It looks all dirty and grimy. And the door itself looks metal for the most part, but it looks like old messed up metal. And then on the bottom left corner, there's just 2 windows. And these look really cool too. You could definitely get some awesome shots just having windows there. And then on the side of the diorama, the right side actually, we have just a wall with the Foot Clan logo on there. And as you can see, there's a couple of the bricks that are like sticking out. And then it kind of goes up to a thinner brick wall at the top. And then on the left, you just have a plain brick wall. And I think that's it for the diorama. Like I mentioned before, I've never reviewed a diorama or anything like that. So if you have any questions, please be sure to just ask me in the comments, and I'll do my best to give you whatever information you need. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this diorama. It's really simple, but it's very, very effective. You could use it for a lot of different cool things. So I'm very happy with it. And I'm just happy with the set in general. The diorama is fantastic, but the turtles themselves are incredible. I think that Neca did an amazing job with them. They perfectly captured how they looked in the movies. And I've always been a big fan of the movies. I'd say that the movie Ninja Turtles are probably my favorite versions of the Ninja Turtles. You know, it has like that goofy twist to it, but it's still kind of serious. So I've always loved the movie Ninja Turtles, and these figures capture that perfectly. And I'm just surprised at how much I love these figures. I'd have to say that this is my favorite pickup from San Diego Comic-Con 2018. And yeah, these things are amazing. The sculpt, the articulation, and just the look of the figures is awesome. They look right out of the movies. So I'm so happy with it. But anyways, thank you so much for sitting through this. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was informative. I'm sure it's tough to listen to me babble about these Ninja Turtles for 20 minutes, but I was trying to go in depth, so hopefully I did that, and I hope that everybody was able to find out everything they wanted to know about these turtles in this review. And yeah, I really can't wait to see NECA release these dioramas at retail, because everybody should be able to pick these things up, not just Comic-Con attendees. So these things are awesome. I'll probably pick up an extra when it does hit retail. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.